Hello, good day guys, and welcome back to another video. So in this video we're going to be talking about how to forgive people that don't deserve to be forgiven. In my life, I have a lot of people that basically went and do a lot of very unforgivable things to me that I had to learn to forgive. I hope that it is that they are different people and that they have changed and grown, but it's very likely that it is that they didn't. And you know what? That is fine. The reason why this is the topic today is because of something that happened to me recently. I learned that it is that you really and truly not forgiving the person to forgive them, but to forgive yourself. Forgiving yourself is honestly more important than forgiving the other person. And I will tell you all this analogy that it is that I've learned throughout my life, and I've actually told my mom this. My mom had me through an affair. My dad had a wife. My dad cheated on his wife with my mom, and I came into the picture. My dad and mom were never married. They were never together. Like, that's what happened. I have observed my mom holding this type of resentment, holding on to this type of anger that it is that I find that carried out into the rest of her life. If you ask anybody who could hold a grudge, my mom could hold a fucking grudge. For those of you who don't know me, my mom is mentally ill. My mom was always mentally ill, even before it is she met my dad. But I guess back in those days, being mentally ill is something that just kind of go a little bit like undiagnosed in a type of way. And that entire situation kind of was the catalyst that made that side of her come out and be more known amongst people, I guess. And I do think that it is that if it is you harbor that hatred and that resentment towards people, it could get you mentally ill to that extent. And that is why it is very important to let go of it for yourself. As much as it is the other person could have been a horrible human being, as much as it is the other person would have done things that it is that you would have never done to them, you have to let it go. What you all need to understand is that time does not exist. The only level of time that does exist in life is the present, because the present is basically the foundation of building the future and the foundation of being the past. The only thing that it is that you could do is just accept, yeah, you know, that sucked. It do be like that sometimes, but that have nothing to do with me. Let's keep it pushing and let's move on. I think a lot of you all find it hard to forgive yourself because you feel as though it is that you were the problem. A lot of people find it hard to forgive themselves because they're actually really great people and they're actually willing to admit when it is they're wrong. And oftentimes I feel as though that people like to take accountability for things that it is that they have nothing to do. Who cares if it is the man on you? That has nothing to do with you. Somebody cheating on you has nothing to do with you. Just say, okay, well, you know what? It is what it is. Let's get it pushing. Let's get it going. Sorry, it is you had to cheat. Goodbye. If it is you want to add some extra salt onto the wound and thing, tell him, don't worry. I forgive you. And then let him drive you to the nearest car dealership. Let him buy a car in full, in cash. Drive the car around for a week. And then leave him. Because you know what? I think cheating is a disrespect. I don't care if people more biologically adapted to want to procreate. But hello, good day. I did not sign myself up for that. This was the foundation and this that we built the relationship on. You decided to step out on it. Goodbye. That has nothing to do with me. I didn't cheat. You did. Goodbye. Sorry about that. Goodbye. Like a friendship breakup. You could be friends with somebody for years and years and years of your entire life, and then they go behind your back and then they betray you and they do all these things. Like, that has nothing to do with you. As much as it is you would miss the friend, as much as it is that you would wish them well, I think a friendship breakup is more hurtful than an actual breakup. But the thing about it is, betrayal does not come from your enemies. Betrayal does come from your friends. 48 Laws of Power, or whatever that book is that everybody just be reading, is if you don't have no enemies, go out and make some, because your enemies will show you exactly who it is you are. Because most of the time in life, I would advise you all to surround yourself with people that would not lie to you. I would advise yourself to surround yourself with people that have their best interest for you. And even though hurting your feelings might be painful in the moment. At least it is. They're saying, hey, you are full of shit. Do something about it. But most people don't. So you get the best criticisms and critiques from your enemies. Use that shit. Use that shit. When somebody say, hey, you real acne on your face, girl. Like, yeah, I do, but it's not bothering me. But they show you how it is that other people perceive you. When I got rid of the acne on my face, I got more business deals, I got more money, I made new connections, new networks and stuff, because unfortunately, in this social thing, how it is you look, it matters. It matters, so it is you can get ahead. And to be honest, forgiving people that don't deserve to be forgiven is a very long, painful, excruciating process. You're going to be so angry. There's going to be times where it is that you can't bring yourself to forgive somebody because, dog, you are an ass. Why am I forgiving you? But you have to understand, listen, if I'm still angry, and if it is that I'm still being so emotionally fueled towards this thing, it means that it is that I have not let it go. I need to let it go. Let it go. Nothing is forever. Together and stay loyal and faithful. One of you all gonna die first, you know? Unless it is like you're lucky enough to die at the same time, then by all means. But you really have to understand how to value yourself more. You all don't value yourself to the extent that it is that you should be out there valuing yourself. Go out there and get some self-respect. Sometimes you have to do the thing that it is that you don't want to do. Go to the gym, not because it is you're looking for like, wha, the muscles, and I lost all my muscles because I stopped going to the gym. But regardless though, start going back to the fucking gym to feel better about yourself, because that's a way that it is that they can actually hack all of the happy hormones in your body, because it is releasing endorphins and all that shit and thing, and then like you'll be like, okay, I could be happy now for no reason. You see how it is be sad for no reason? That is because you lack purpose. Get up with a purpose every single day. Find something that it is that you enjoy doing. It could be something that it is that makes you absolutely no money. It could be something that it is that is totally weird, something that it is that, you know, it is actually healthy and not like harming anybody, you know, and go and do that thing. Look forward to that thing every single day. You have to go on and find some type of way to give gratitude to yourself. It could be writing, it could be meditating, it could be taking a walk, it could be getting a KFC once a week. Do something that it is that is make yourself feel good about yourself. Do something that it is that you could look forward to. Some of you all could look forward to, at the end of the day, drinking a bottle of rum. This is not my bottle of rum. Claire, come and get your rum. You leave it in my car. I'm going to tell you all a story about how somebody that totally does not deserve to be forgiven, I have forgiven. And I hope that it is that they are a totally different person right now. Once upon a time, I had really had no self-respect for myself. I had really liked this guy. I like this guy so much that it is I decided to change every single thing about myself. That was the start of when it is I started to experiment with like femininity and stuff, because I felt as though that it is like I am smart, I am funny, I could kick a football, I could play games, we could talk intellectually about things. What is the common denominator here? What is it? What is it? Is it that it is that I just fucking ugly? And they would have told me that it is that they like to spend their birthday alone. And then I would have seen them post up on their stories that they was with a girl on their birthday. It's not to say that it is that I thought that this girl looked better than me. I'd always felt as though that it is I was really pretty, but I just didn't feel the need to put in effort, because it's like, dog, I know that it is I'm pretty, then who fucking cares? But I saw how well it is she was put together, and I was like, you know, maybe the problem is the fact that it is that I don't put myself together. And then the guy had like made a comment of like, oh, you know, your legs as hairy as mine. And I was like, yeah, because at that point in time I didn't even shave my legs and stuff. I remember the first time it is that I shaved my legs, and I go in that bathroom and I ball on the place and cry, because my mother had always tell me if it is I'd shave my legs, then it will keep growing back hairier and hairier and hairier, which I have learned it's not fucking true. That's not true. So mom, why are you taking advice from my mother, who have no hair on her legs genetically? Why did I do that? I don't know. So, I started to shave my legs. I started to, learn how to do makeup, which was very traumatizing for me. I started to like do my nails and stuff like that, which was like horrible in the beginning. And the guy had always told me that it is that he liked white toes. So I used to always do my toes white. I don't know what it is with these fellas and liking their toes white. I don't know. Don't suck my toes. That I find that is weird. Actually, what this person started to do was use me because they knew how much it is that I like them. And then they would turn around and say, oh, they're not ready for a relationship, blah, 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 blah. And then they would treat me as though that it is that I was their girlfriend. I just saying, no man, right, is going to give you a period chocolate box, right? Because they knew that it is that whenever it is like I was coming up to my period, I love to eat chocolates. They're not going to go out today when they're not going to just drop chocolate for you, right? No man is going to help your family through a lot of the things that it is that it was going through because, like, their profession and stuff could help them in terms of that. And no man is going to basically go like out of his way to at least try and help you navigate some things in your life, especially being so young and stupid and not knowing where it is you're going in the world. So in the back of my mind, I was like, well, maybe it is he like me, but maybe he not ready for the relationship now, like it is he's saying, maybe he likes me, but he's not ready for it right now. That is me being a clung. That's clung behavior. Do not let a man tell you twice that it is that he don't like you. If it is that he says that it is, oh, I don't want to be in a relationship with you, and then he turn around and then he start acting like if it is that he is his girlfriend and thing, and then he start basically wanting everything to do with in a relationship, but not the actual relationship. Just leave him to the curb and just like leave him right fucking there, dog. Obviously, it is that a man going to take advantage of a girl that is that like them, because you know what? I could walk outside and about fucking 500 man gonna turn their head and say this girl looking real gorgeous. I could go through my DMs right now and I know for a fact it is to have some man trying to talk to me, right? Men don't really get that. Men don't really get women on top of them like that. So when it is they see a girl that like them and they genuinely like them, they might not want to be in a relationship with them. They definitely want to use it for the benefits of being around a woman because they want that feminine energy around them, right? And I tried really, really, really hard. I talking that it is that I used to be going these fucking football sweats. I played football when it is that I was growing up, by the way, but I felt as though it is that I couldn't even fucking play the football properly because like when a girl play football, the fellas is like feel like I need to like hold back on the amount of kicks because I get kicked in my face like real hard once and I kept going and they was like, no, are you good? I was like, yeah. I grew up playing football in the middle of the road, bareback and barefoot. I could take a kick with a ball straight in my face. Granted, I didn't wear contacts at a point in time. I used to wear glasses still, so like they would have like they would have probably break. I felt like if it is I was holding back myself too. It's like I could play football better than that, but I purposely play football like shit. So like they would have like, see me as like this girly girl kind of figure. Bitch, I could fucking play football. Right? I can't play football on a big field though. Just saying. Like I not fucking running that cardio shit. But like a small field I could play some football. Remember for a fact that it is that I would have gotten this person the best gifts for their birthday. I talking like the best fucking gifts. When I tell you that I love somebody, dog, I just make sure that it is that I carefully plan out the gifts that it is that I get them so they could love it and cherish it forever. I know for a fact that it is that they still like that gift. I got them a light up Rooney Kenshin figure. It was very funny that it is. They would have told their friends about it. To show how bad it is that they didn't even see me as an equal in terms of that love that it is that I had for them, was just by chance I ran into one of their friends. Now this friend that it is that they had, they didn't live in Trinidad. This friend that it is that they had lived abroad, and I've never seen a picture of this friend, but they talked about this friend a lot. I was minding my business in Starbucks one day, and this was before it is like they put the tint in Starbucks so that the sun didn't come in and like, have a whole area in blindness and in heat. I was sitting down on a seat where like the shade had passed, so the sun wasn't there. And they had called my name and I went to pick up my drink, and when it is I looked to come back, somebody was in my seat and I was like, oh God, bro, you in my seat and thing, I was here first, but I was not seeing I go and sit down somewhere else because the sun was like blocking off all the rest of the chairs, right? And they was like, no, you can go ahead and take back your seat and stuff. And like, we get to talking and I realize this person is the friend that it is that this man used to always be talking about, but he moved abroad and whatever the case is, and he's married and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, so you know this guy? And he was like, yeah, that's my friend, da, 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 da. So the more and more as we talk, he realized, wait, use this girl that give him this Roni Kenshin figurine. And I was like, yeah. And then he was like, oh. And I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, well, we just call it Batosai girl. And I was like, oh, it's Batosai girl. What did it say about Batosai girl? And the man was like, well, you can read for yourself. So he picked up his phone and he showed me like the WhatsApp messages between him and this guy. And the guy was like, hey, look what a girl buy me for my birthday. Ha ha, hee hee. And showed him a picture of the figurine. And the guy was like, oh my God, that's so cool. That girl is really a keeper dog. You should really blade it like that. Because he's blade a sword like that. And I guess like it was real disgusting to see like those messages, because it's like, is that all that it is that you fucking think of me? Like, is that all that it is that you think of me as a person? That it is that you just want to fucking use like that? Like, is that all it is you think of me? And he was like, you should call him and tell him that it is that we meet. So I was like, I'm pretty sure if it is I call him, he won't answer. And he was like, oh, well, go ahead and still try now. So I call him, and obviously he didn't answer. The friend was like, hold on, let me try. And as soon as it is the friend call, he answered immediately. And this is when it is I started to realize maybe this level of fucking desperation, maybe the universe aligning me to meet this person to give me insight on what the guy actually thought of me was a sign. And to be honest, if it is you just don't like me, why it is leave me on. If it is you don't like me, I've told this man a lot of times, like, if it is you don't like me, just tell me that it is that you don't like me now and just make me leave. And they would never say it. They would never say that. They would never bring themselves to say that, because they enjoyed sucking all of the energy that it is that I was giving them. They enjoyed having the benefit of my existence around them. I would never do that to a person. I find doing that is a deplorable, disgusting thing. And it sucked so much time out of me and so much joy and so much essence. But you know what? I had to go through it, because if I didn't go through it, I wouldn't have learned to walk away immediately when it is somebody says that it is that they don't want you. I realized that it is that this is one of the things in life that it is that you just can't force. You can't force somebody to like you. No matter how much it is you do for them, no matter how much it is you say it is you there for them, no matter how much it is you do, if somebody doesn't like you, cool. Just say R.I.P., keep it pushing, pass, go, collect $200. That's how it is we have to keep it pushing. And over the years, I found it very hard to forgive this person. And then I was like, you know what? I can't forgive this person. I forgive them. But then the real headache was learning how to forgive myself throughout that whole thing, because I was like, how it is that I could be so stupid, how it is that I could be so blind, how it is that I could go through all of this shit, because it was years that it took me to just forgive the person. And then it took me another year to forgive myself. And it's only recently that I just learned how to forgive myself for this exact thing, because it was like, for the past couple of weeks, I was really thinking about this person a lot, but now I didn't want that person again. I didn't like that person the same way again. And I was like, again, this feeling. Now, I just always remember people's birthdays in my life, and the guy's birthday was coming up. And I had this strange feeling to just unblock him and tell him, happy birthday. So, I didn't unblock him. I just sent him a normal text and I was like, hey bro, happy birthday, or whatever the case is. And I mean, I guess to them, they don't want to hold any grudges and thing too. And maybe that's their own life philosophy. Maybe they in denial of exactly how bad it is they would have hurt me, or whatever the case was. Fine. And they was like, hey, thanks to the wishes. This is a real good surprise. How it is you're going? So I would unblock them and I would have basically sent them this voice note, because I was like writing. And when it is that I was writing, like I just write right before it is that I go to sleep. And in me writing, I was writing, hey, happy birthday. I really wish you the best and whatever the case is. And I remember specifically writing, love is not something that is bounded by conditions. Love is not something that works with the rules of our human dynamics. I specifically wrote, love is not obsessive, love is not possessive, love is limitless, love is boundless, and love is just there to give in abundance. Perhaps sometimes in life, we give love to people that don't deserve to be loved. But love is not something to even be reciprocated. Love is just something that is there and to exist. And I remember writing as well, I'll continue to love you as the person that it is that I've came to know until it is you've become a person that I no longer know. And I wish that it is that you have become a different person. And even if it is you become a different person, I would still love you. And it wasn't like, like this desperate attempt to be like, oh my God, I really love you, I truly love you, blah, blah, blah. It was kind of like, I don't want you back in my life. I don't ever fucking talk to you again. What it is you did was horrible, deplorable, all these things. But at the same point in time, I have to acknowledge that it is that I truly love this person. I truly, really do wish them the best. And that is what helped me to let them go. Like after it is, I'd send them that message, like for some strange reason in the message and thing too, I was basically writing, I'm not a religious person. I don't believe in a religion, but I'm not an atheist. Like, I'm an agnostic. So I believe that there is a God, but not attached to a religion. For some strange reason, when I was writing, I was basically telling him, Lord Krishna, as your protector, wants you to know that whatever it is you do, you was forgiven. I don't know really what that was about. I don't know anything about Hinduism. I wasn't really brought up in it, even though it is that I'm Indian and the majority of my family are Hindus. I don't know anything about it. And then when it is that I Googled who Lord Krishna was and what he's the god of, he was like the god of love and compassion and stuff like that. And I didn't even know that. So, I think that was kind of like a prophetic message for him personally, in that kind of way, whatever it is that meant to him, that resonated. And I was happy to be a vessel that it is that he could hear it true, like the universe just send him a message and say, hey, whatever it is you do, like, I forgive you for it. So, going through all of that hurt, going through all of that heartbreak is really shape you, it is really teach you a lot of things. And coming online here and talking about my personal experiences and letting you all know that it's very hard for me to do, because I wanted to go my entire life without having to talk about things that, affect me personally and stuff. But I realized that it is that true healing does not happen in a hole where I just usually want to go when it is I want to heal. True healing happens out in the open. True healing happens when it is that you just put everything out there and you have absolutely like no connection to it. Like, I could say, yeah, I love this person, I really wish them the best, but like, I don't want to be with them again. I don't really want to see them do bad. They did me a lot of bad and horrible things that, I'm not telling the whole story online, obviously. I'm just giving like this big summary of it. I could still look at this person, watch them and say, hey, I really do wish you the best. I do wish you well. But at the same time, I don't want to see you again. I don't want you to come back again. Like, whatever it is we were supposed to learn from each other, it was learned. That's good, bro. Do not talk to me. Do not contact me ever again. But like, even if it is you do, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't mind. I find personally that could be kind of strange if it is that we remain friends, because if I was in a relationship with somebody else and I had to explain to them this story and this person would still be an active person in my life and we would still be friends, I, as the other man that would be in a relationship with me, would be weirded out by that. And I was like, you know what? Goodbye. I don't want to have nothing to do with this ever the fuck again. I hope that it is that you all enjoyed this video. I am trying my best to post consistently. So look out for the next video that is coming out on Sunday. I hope that it is that you all learned something from this. And with that being said, I will see you all in the next one.